on the jaw safari.
And you're stuck with me. Asante Sana. We'll see you in 2 weeks, Chris. As we say here in Harambe, it's one day, and that means let's go. Jumbo, everyone. My name is Eric. I'll be your safari driver for the next 2 weeks through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. While we're out there, I do ask that you please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle. There are lots of bushes out on the reserve that have very long, sharp thorns in them. They are not fun to touch. Also, hang on to all of the loose items. If anything should fall overboard, I am not allowed to stop to pick it up, no matter what it is. So please hang on to everything or stow it away. Safest place is in a bag on the floor. Feel free to take pictures or video, of course. That means they are all very good at hiding or blending in. So keep a sharp eye out for them. Oh, look out to the right. Big dark animal out there. That's an okapi. Check out the stripes on the okapi legs, black and white like a zebra. Makes you think they're a relative of zebra, but they're not. They're actually the only known relative to giraffe. Something the two animals have in common is a 1.5-foot long tongue. They use that tongue when vegetation is too high or too far away. They just stretch the tongue out. Out ahead, I see another couple herds. So they move through the forest easier. Don't get snagged up in the bushes that way. There's also a herd of greater kudu up in the hills to the right, light brown animals. Second largest antelope in Africa. Oh, and a black rhino way out to the left, laying along the red clay wall. We are very fortunate to have found any black rhino. They are an endangered species. That means they're very rare. There's actually less than 5,000 black rhino left in the wild right now. It's because they're targeted by poachers for their horns. We're going to leave the forest behind now, head on up towards the We're going to head up towards the Safi River region. Hopefully we'll find some Nile hippopotamus out that way. Ooh, but it looks like the river is flooded out onto the road. Well, Hakuna Matata, no worries. We'll just go poli-poli. That means very slowly in Swahili. Oh, and look out to the right. There's a hippo out on the land. Very common to see hippos sleeping in the daytime. They are primarily nocturnal animals. That means they are much more active at nighttime. When hippos come out at night, they eat about 150 pounds of vegetation. Downriver, more hippo activity out there out to the left. We've also found a pod of pink-backed pelicans. They get their name because during mating season, they develop a very, very light shade of pink on their backs. Lots of hippo out there. A group of hippo like we found is called a bloat. A bloat to hippo. When hippo are born, they're already about 85 pounds. And fully grown, they weigh as much as 5,500 pounds. So given their very large size, it's kind of hard for hippo to swim. Instead, they have to walk down on the bottom on the riverbed. When they're down there, hippo can hold their breath for about 8 minutes. But the head, this bridge looks a little extra rickety, but we gotta keep moving forward. Oh, and look down under the rickety bridge. There are Nile crocodile down there. Those crocs can be about 20 feet long at their longest. And their jaws can apply bone-crushing pressure of about 2,000 pounds per square inch. Which means we do not want to make friends with crocodiles, so we are going to take off and get out of here. We're heading out towards a completely different ecosystem now, called the Serengeti grasslands. Hopefully we'll find some completely different animals out there. Ooh, but first, look out to the right. Check out this really weird looking tree. This is a baobab tree. Baobab, also called an upside down tree, because it looks like the roots are on top. They are the branches though, they're just leafless right now. Baobab can be leafless for about 9 months out of the year. And this right here, folks, is my favorite view out of the whole reserve. The Serengeti grasslands can stretch for hundreds of miles across, and they act as a super highway for millions of migrating animals each year. This is the wild Africa we're working so hard to protect. Start to notice the landscape out here, folks. The grasses, the bushes, the trees. It's all very well maintained and taken care of by the animals who live here. They are their own landscapers. Notice lots of the grass is mowed down nice and short. That's thanks to grazing animals who eat the grass, like antelope or cattle. As they eat it up and mow it down, that allows newer vegetation to have some room to sprout up and out. If you look up into the trees, the hanging vegetation, that's all trimmed up by a giraffe. They stretch their long necks up, eat the leaves, and that'll thin out the branches, letting sunlight through down to everything below. There's also some trees out here that have fallen. They could have been knocked over though. What animal do you think is large enough to knock a tree down? Elephant, yeah, they're the bulldozers. They want the leaves on top of the trees, the ones the giraffe can't reach. So they knock the tree down. Now lets the grass spread out a little more. I'm sure you've also noticed all the large red and brown mounds around us now. Does anyone know what the mounds are? Termite mounds, yeah. They're made out of a surrounding dirt from the area and a sticky saliva-like substance that termites secrete. When it's dried, though, they're hard as a rock, so the animals will use them as back scratchers or scratching posts to rub up against them. Over time, though, that'll wear the mound down, so it won't be so tall, straight, or skinny anymore. It'll be more dome-shaped, rounded on top. When they've been worn down that much, smaller animals like meerkats might hop up on the mounds, use them as a lookout post for predators. So all the animals who live here have their jobs. As long as they do them, this is a perfectly balanced ecosystem. Plenty of food going around.
Everything was out here. Mom is meerkat. Isn't he, Daddy? And the Lion King Timon?
Yeah.
There is no meerkat.
Take it on the bed, I think.
Oh, look out to the left. Herd of white-bearded wildebeest hiding under the bushes. They're also called gnu, G-N-U, and that's for the grunting sounds they make.
Oh, I hear it.
They have the We're gonna head out towards elephant country though, see what we can see out there.
What's the matter, bud?
Unfortunately, both male and female elephants are targeted by poachers. That's because both of them grow tusks, not just the males. Tusks are made out of ivory, which does sell for very high amounts on the black market. We are still on the outskirts of elephant territory, but if we should find any out here, they're probably male elephants, so keep an eye out for any. Look out to the left, folks. There's monkeys walking around. Those are mandrill monkeys, some around the rocks and logs, bushes. grayish brown all over. But on face and bottom, they have very distinct red and blue color. Makes them the most colorful monkey in Africa. They're also the largest. The males can weigh as much as 100 pounds. Females only about 30 pounds. So there's a pretty big size difference between the two. Oh, and way out to the right, we're getting a super tiny glimpse of an elephant, just the back side. Hoping we'll find some others a little later on. That one was really hard to see. Like I said, probably a male though. The males leave the herd, leave the rest of their life alone. Sometimes though, a group of the males, they come together, make their own herd. That's a bachelor herd. Hoping we'll find some family groups of elephants. Family groups are made up of female adults and the youngsters. So the mamas and the young, they live together. Usually one female adult is in charge. Please keep the little one seated, folks. She's got to be flat on her bottom in the second row. The little one in white, she's got to be flat on her bottom, folks. Thank you. No worries. Ugh. Up ahead, this bridge looks a little old and rusty. We'll just go across it poly-poly, very slowly. There's really no room to turn around here. So here we go. Ugh. This bridge kind of sounds awful, doesn't it? Ooh, hang on everyone. Everyone lean to the right. Lean to the right. Tilt the bridge back. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Well, your driver's across safely. And so is everyone else, so let's get out of here. Hopefully we don't find any more bridges like that. Looks like we're driving straight through a red clay pit. That's what's coming up all around us now. Looks like a little bit of a traffic jam up ahead though. Been listening to my radio. It sounded like an ostrich was in the road somewhere out in the reserve. So the trucks are just starting to roll again. It's our wild animals, and they do as they please, so sometimes that includes getting in the road.
What's a man?
Trucks are starting to roll again, though, so maybe the ostriches have been here. But when they're still here, they're coming into view out on the left. Elephants will actually eat red clay. They get beneficial minerals out of it that they don't get from the normal plants they eat, so it's kind of like their vitamin. This is definitely a family group. We're seeing elephants that are kind of smaller, kind of bigger. Remember I said the family groups are female adults, the mamas, and the youngsters. They're all living together.
What's a man? Super sleepy. Oh. 10 seconds of my life. Oh, what's the matter? Oh, you need a ball. I know. Oh my goodness. You think you're gonna make it? Gonna make it? I don't know.
A couple more baobab trees up ahead. Baobabs can hold about 2,000 gallons of water at any given time in their trunks. So they come in very handy during the drought season when watering holes have dried up. Bigger animals like the elephants, they'll try and run into the baobab, break it open, get the water that's on the inside. So you see there's lots of score marks in them, lots of holes that have healed over. The mama elephants, when they're pregnant, they have a gestation period of about 22 months. It's almost 2 years that they're pregnant for. The babies are born, they're already 300 pounds. They stay with mom for about 15 years, give or take. That gives elephants the second longest childhood. Any guess as to who has the longest childhood? It's kind of a trick question. Humans, of course, we have the longest. ahead, found a flamboyance of greater flamingo. Not just a flock, but a flamboyance. Flamingo are actually born white or gray. It's not until they start eating their diet of shrimp that their color will change. It takes about a year to 2 years of eating the shrimp. That's because it has a color-changing protein in it called beta-carotene. Same thing that's found in carrots.
What's over here? Is that a bird? Where's the bird? Bird. Bird. See a bird?
Looks like we're crossing over into white rhino territory. Never know what's going to happen out here.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, we will find some rhino right away. Looks like a crash of them. That's what a group is, a crash. You're going to notice the color also. They're not very white, are they? More of a gray. Also zebra up ahead. White rhino don't get the name for their color. It actually comes from a mispronounced act. No two zebra prints will ever be the same, just like the human fingerprint. Using their powerful hind legs, their back legs, a zebra could break a lion's jaw in one kick.
Oh wow.
You didn't look. Where is it? Look right there.
Right there, buddy.
So hot.
Ooh, and up ahead, cheetahs. See a cheetah laying out on a boulder out to the left. Keep an eye out for any others. Cheetah are daytime hunters. They rely on their excellent sense of sight, not the sense of smell like other hunters use. They can sprint very short periods of time after their prey, getting up to a speed of about 60 miles an hour. Makes them the fastest land animal.
Mike
Which, by the way,
Looks like a couple more cheetahs out towards the front of the truck. Still on the left though. At least one's walking around.
What?
Looks like maybe another one's laying out there out in the shadows of the hill.
How do you know?
Oh yeah, saw its tail flicking a little bit. Up ahead, this large rock formation is called a kopie. Kopies are a good place to try to find some lions. Hopefully we'll find some as we roll along. Lions are inactive up to about 20 hours out of a day. So if we do find any, they'll probably just be laying around. Inactive doesn't necessarily mean they're sleeping that whole time though, just kind of relaxing, laying around. Lions are primarily nocturnal, so they're much more active at nighttime. Does anyone know the Swahili word for lion?
Look at this. Simba? I think he's
Oh, I'm sure you do. No, it's not lion. Simba, yeah. Simba meets lion, of course. Simbas love kopies because they're a high vantage point above the savannah. They'll use them to get above the grasses, to lay out in the sun, but also as a hunting tool. You can see a lot of the surrounding area at once from up there. The females are the primary hunters, the lioness. It's the male's job to protect the family and the pride, the territory.
See the lion up there? Where's the lion at? Did you see
got a
him?
big old man.
Oh, he's going on, right? Going down.
Unfortunately, our friend the Bontebok have been overhunted to near extinction. They're actually no longer found out in the wild. The only place you find Bontebok now are in animal reserves like ours. So there's a lioness way out on the kopie. She's laying down. We'll try and get a little bit closer to her.
No, he should be on the other side. He wasn't earlier. Zoom in.
A lion.
Please stay seated, bud. Thank you.
And a lioness.
Simba. It's a mommy. And the boy has a big Simba. Yes, he does. I bet he has a nice coat turkey.
Clearing up ahead.
Oh, yeah, there she is. She's laying right at the edge.
Oh, he's not there.
There's also a male up there, a little farther back than she is. He's a little harder to see. There's lots of plants getting in the way.
There's King resting, you know?
You see him? Daddy lion. See him? Alright, you gotta sit down, buddy. You can't go get down.
Lots of holes dug in the ground up ahead. These are from warthogs, largest burrowing mammal in Africa. I know we just said Simba means lion, but Pumbaa does not mean warthog. It actually means foolish in Swahili. There are a couple of warthogs out there to the left laying around the tree, kind of in the center of the area. Look like big gray rocks. And also up ahead, a couple of ostrich. These are the ones that have been causing all the migration stops by the trucks. Also an ostrich nest down there. Largest bird egg in the world at about 3 pounds each. You can also see Bontebok again out to the right if you missed them before. Of course, ostrich are flightless birds despite their feathers and wings, but they can run. They can get up to a speed of about 40 miles an hour.
I can't run 40 miles an hour.
Up ahead, this bridge looks a little extra bumpy, but Hakuna Matata, no worries. I'll go first. You stay seated, buddy. The yellow. Thank you. Ooh, and coming up on the right, down on the ground, there's a small flock of yellow-billed storks here. These birds are carnivorous, meaning they eat anything with a heartbeat. Lucky for us, though, they only eat very small things that fit in their bill in one swallow. So lizards, fish, other birds, not humans. Unfortunately, most of the animals that we protect on our reserve are either endangered or critically endangered. I know I've pointed out a few and also mentioned some reasons, like overhunting or poaching. There's also habitat destruction. And that's another problem elephants are facing. See, humans are moving on into elephant territory, destroying the land with mining operations. Those miners are looking for a very precious metallic ore called coltan. Sadly, we are all very dependent on coltan. It's used in our electronic devices, like our cell phones or our laptops. But a really easy way to help elephants in their habitat, when you get a new device, take the old device, like your old cell phone, and recycle it. I know it sounds small, but small things add up and we all start to help out and pitch in. It looks like we found one of the exit gates out of the reserve, which means our safari is almost over. I know, 2 weeks flew by. It was so fun it felt like 20 minutes. Or we're coming around to the nearest warden's post, and that's where I'll drop you all off at. So start to gather up all the personal belongings